Hi, it's Lipstick Gal. Thanks for watching today. I wanted to do kind of a 3-month roundup of the last quarter worth of Boxy Charm products. Some of them are in high rotation, some of them are when I remember, and some of them are like, all right, so let's get into it. I am going to start. I have everything from Boxy Charm out here on the table in front of me, and I'm going to use as much as possible. But there are some things that Boxy Charm does not include. One of them is sunscreen, and I thought I'd put some of that on right now. All right, the next thing, I'm going to use this. This came in June's box. It's the Touch and Soul No Problem Prime Essence. I have been loving this. I love that this essence really makes me feel smooth, but also really hydrated. I know that it's probably not going to be something that everyone is going to love. It does have, to me, more of a skincare feel to it, and the fact that Touch and Soul is a Korean brand doesn't surprise me. I did like the original No Problem Primer, but I think out of the two, I'm liking this one the best because it leaves my skin looking really glowy and gorgeous, especially in the summertime, because there are days that this is all I do. I have sunscreen on, then I put a little bit of this, or sometimes I'll do it vice versa, primer and then sunscreen, and I feel like I'm good to go. They haven't been sending any complexion products, so I'm just going to use my own concealer and powder, and then we'll be back. As I go on, I'm going to use the bronzer from this Tartist Pro Glow Volume 3, and there's a really warm bronzer, like this one. I'm going to use this one here. It's not quite as warm. It's very pigmented. It's a little bit more pigmented than I like on my fair skin, but it's what we got, so we'll use it. I don't know if you can see it, but I feel like it's a little patchy right here. And I'm using the same brush that I normally use, and I've set my face the way I normally set it. I do find that this bronzer, as well as we got one, I don't know, I think in the first Boxy Luxe. This was from June's Boxy Luxe, but it's September's last year, we got a Tarte Avenue, what was it? Park Avenue Princess kind of contour palette. And even the bronzers in there, they're not my favorite because I do feel like they're just a hair patchy. One of my absolute favorite discoveries has been this brand Alamar. I really enjoyed the Reina del Caribe palette that we got, I think it was a year ago, June in 2018, but this came in May's box. Be Still My Heart. And basically, it's been one of the only blushes I have been reaching for. And it's probably the one that since I've got it, I have used the most. And I really love these more orangey tones. And I feel like the orangey tones have a little bit more of a glow to them, while this pink one here in the middle called Paraíso is just a hair more, maybe more satin, not quite so glowy. But Scorcher really is my favorite, and it seems like it would be like too orange. Oh, I love it. So it wasn't until I was going through this entire kind of what happened in the last 3 months with Boxy Charm that I remembered we got this. This is from Artist Couture. It's one of the Diamond Glow powders, and this one is in the shade Purple Dream. I am normally not a fan of kind of loose highlights, but this one is just gorgeous. And I was worried the fact that it was Purple Dream was going to just make it a little too much. Oh no. Look at that. So pretty. It does have some really fine micro shimmer particles in it. And if that's not something you like, I have found that the more I buff while putting this product on, the more I'm able to kind of buff away some of those really tiny particles. I really surprised myself how much I liked this product when it arrived in April, but then it kind of got lost in the shuffle. And between the highlight in this and the highlight in the Tarte palette, I really prefer this one. I think it's just beautiful. One of the items that I remember using the week that it arrived in April was this palette from Pure, the Festival palette, and I used it a couple more times, and I just didn't love it as much as I thought. This is what it looks like. I think these glitters here were really the reason I was like, because I feel like every time I open this palette, whether I use those glitters or not, I get glitter on me. And I will find like a rogue piece of glitter on my face or on my fingers, and then I touch my face. Do you see what I mean? But I am going to probably use more of these medium tones today. I'm also going to be using, there was a brush trio that we got the same month we got this. They're Luxie brushes. I feel like some Luxie brushes are just perfect for me and some are not my favorite. Some I prefer other ones. These ones are okay, and I realized the ones that I keep in front of me, I have like a collection of brushes here, and these are, it's funny is that a lot of these have come in previous Boxy Charms, but I realized the ones that I wash and that I keep right in front of me are not these guys. And I think it's mainly because I don't like the way they fit my eye as much, and this is to me too small for blush, too small for bronzer. I could use it to set my under eye, but I already have a brush that I like for that, so I just kind of like, they're not my favorites, but I'm going to use them today. I think what it comes down to is there have been a lot of pure palettes that we've received in Boxy Charm. Remember the Soiree Diaries? There was one with Boxy Charm last spring that had some peaches, some blues. I felt like the quality of that was terrible, and I feel like the Soiree Diaries was nice. And we got one around the holidays last year, the Masquerade palette. I didn't care for that one. I felt like the quality was not good. And I feel like this one kind of hits right in the middle where it's okay, I can make it work. But I just don't think that Pure makes my favorite eyeshadows. And I think that's also another reason that I don't reach for this palette on the regular. I'm going to use the darkest shade here called All Night. I'm going to put that in the outer corner. I feel like there are some good staple shades in here. Some of the metallics are nice. This dark brown is nice. I guess I'm trying to tell myself it's not as bad as I remember. It just wasn't inspiring enough to have me continually reach for it. I'm going to use some of Psychedelic here. I'm just going to use my finger and press that on the lid. I'm going to use this smaller one here. This is their small shader to do my bottom lash line, and I'm just going to use a combo of these two shades here across the bottom lash line. One of the other things I'm going to do is I'm going to use this darkest shade here called All Night, and I'm going to use this little itty bitty teeny tiny flat kind of push liner brush, and I'm going to hit the top lash line because they did send us a liner, but it's probably maybe not the worst liner I've ever received from Boxy Charm. Starlooks holds that exact award, worst liner ever. But the other one that we got was from Bodyography, and although it was creamy, it just didn't have the ability to stay. And for me, I need something that's not going to smudge. So, not that this is going to stay perfectly all day, but it is going to help intensify my lash line, and I'm not going to worry about it smudging and going everywhere. We got two separate mascaras. In April, we got this one from Butter London. This is the Power Up Mascara. It has more of that rubber bristle wand, short, spiky. It also has just a very slight little curve to it. I felt like this one was a little bit harder to use. Now, I am more likely to get mascara on my lid, but I like the formula of that. I like that it doesn't smudge and it doesn't flake. The other one we got was the Trestique Good Vibes mascara. It came with this little lash curler. If you can get it to work for you, fantastic. I never could. The problem I had was I felt like you'd have to curl one portion at a time, and I would get a gap in the middle. My lashes would kind of do this, and then there really was no fixing them. I also lost a couple of lashes in the mechanism, and I didn't find that it really gave me a good curl. But I love this mascara. And I don't think it's always the case, because there are some high-end mascaras. I forgot to curl my lashes. I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm talking and not paying attention. I'll be right back. I think what I like most about this mascara is I feel like it doesn't flake, it doesn't smudge, and it really gives me the look of more length and added volume, more than I expected it to do. And this product performed so well that it kind of made me interested in other Trestique products, and I have slowly been collecting enough to do a full face, which I will do hopefully later this month when it all finally arrives. A little bit here, a little bit there. I've been trying to get some of it on sale. And some of it I had to pay full price for, but that's okay. But do you see the difference? I really feel like it does a really good job of making my lashes look longer than they are. I do realize I have some mascara on my lid. I'm gonna clean it up. But while I wait for it to dry, I wanted to use this brow definer from Mellow. I have the shade Chocolate. It's so small on the end of this cap. So this is really interesting. I really liked it the first couple of times I used it. And I realized I liked it when this was more, when it was brand new and really quite sharp, because it was the smaller end of this triangular tip that I felt was giving me really beautiful brows. The problem I'm having now with it is I feel like it's, as it gets wider and wider, more blunted, I'm not getting those same really defined brows that I like. I do feel like the spoolie is nice. It's that nice in between being too rigid and too soft, where it works well to kind of blend the product through your brows. But I'm gonna put this on and we'll see what we think. I did find that doing my brows with this product went really quickly because it's a little bit creamier than what I'm used to. I still really like this pencil. I just wish it was just a hair more precise. I feel like because the tip is so wide, the pencil is so creamy that my brows go from, looking natural to being really dark really quick. But I think it's a great pencil. I would be interested to see if Mellow has a more fine-tipped pencil like your Brow Wiz or your NYX Micro Brow, those sorts of really skinny pencils, because I like the color. I think the color is great for my, to go along with my hair. I really do like this pencil, but I wish it was just a hair more precise. I normally use my setting mist before I put on my mascara. Let's see if we can get it to work today without getting any little tiny dots of mascara other places. All right. I feel like right now, since it is still slightly damp, and I'm going to feel like it's damp for a long time because there is peppermint essential oil in here. And I feel like the essential oils, there's some, let me just read it to you here. There's truffle extract, rosemary leaf oil, bitter orange peel oil, rose flower oil, lemon fruit extract, peppermint oil, clove flower extract, ginger root extract, and then a lot of the other water and not necessarily oils or extracts in here. So there's a lot in here. And now my skin is totally dry, but I still feel the tingle from the peppermint. I feel like with as many extracts and essential oils as there are in here, this can definitely be irritating if you have more sensitive skin, if you have more acne prone skin, if you have, even maybe if you accidentally get some in your eyes. I have so far been fortunate enough not to have that problem, but it's definitely something that I think about. Now, I think the one thing that's interesting, it says illuminating skin and radiant dew. I don't feel like it makes my skin any more radiant than my natural highlight does. And in a couple of hours, it feels like it does do a good job of keeping my makeup in place, but I don't really feel like it leaves my skin looking more illuminated or even dewy. I don't really feel that I get that from this product. And by the end of the day, my skin is going to feel a little bit tight. I think that comes from the essential oils. So I think that for $35, I also have a problem with the way that it mists. It seems like it's a fine mist. And then there are times, because it is a slightly thicker, more milky product, I feel like I get a giant glob. Fine mist, and a big giant splot. Like it gets clogged up here in the spritzer, and as you pump it out, it kind of all the force just kind of forces it and you get a big giant glob. I got one of those earlier today. I had to tap out. So this is one of those that I'll try and use this summer when I need my skin to be a little bit more stay in place and not melt off my face. But I feel like if I were to use this in the cooler months, some of those more essential oils would make my skin feel a little dry and tight, and that's not what I'm going for. And I think there's also that misconception that it says illuminating and dewy, meaning hydrating, but in this case, I don't really feel that the illumination and the dew that you might get initially off of this product brings you any added radiance or hydration. I feel like if anything, it just sets your makeup in place. In the last 3 months, I got 2 different lip products. One was this from Dose of Colors. It's just their regular liquid lipstick in the shade Bittersweet. I really do love the shade, but it's the formula I don't really like. And I got this from Dominique Cosmetics from the Lemonade collection. And this is Sweet Tea, and this is my favorite. I love the way it smells. I love the way it feels. And I feel like it wears really well. It feels like I'm putting dessert on my lips. So everything that I used in my Get Ready today are things that I'm regularly using as I am putting on my makeup. And I don't use the same brow pencil every day. I don't use the same blush every day. Sometimes I do use that Alamar almost every day. But let's talk about some of the rest of the products that came in my Boxy Charms over the last quarter and let you know my thoughts on them. This I pulled out of my shower. This is the Glam Glow Gentle Bubble. We had 2 different face washes that came, one month and one the next. And I know there's no way I'm going to be able to go through 5 ounces of this before it's time to pop into 3.5 ounces of this. I have tried them both. This one is gentle. It is a little bit more foaming. This one doesn't foam at all. I find this one to be a little bit more gentle. So if you're looking for something that is more hydrating, I would go with this, but this definitely is not going to overstrip my skin, and I use it every morning in the shower. So I like them both, but I try not to have too many things open at once, although I did try this. It's kind of sitting in my drawer waiting for me to finish this guy up. This here is the Living Proof Full Dry Volume Blast. This is one of those that I guess I have been using it right here. Oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. But for me, I tend to lose volume right at the roots right here because my hair is so heavy, it just pulls everything down. And what I've been using it for is just right here to keep what might be bangs for somebody else up, and it helps to keep it off my face. I don't feel like I need the volume that this might give if I were to, use it over the rest of my hair. I've got fairly voluminous hair, but this is just a little something here just to kind of keep this up so that it keeps my hair off my face. I like it. I would never pay this price for this product because I'm not one who needs a volume spray. I am using it because I got it. It's not my favorite thing. Another product I have really been enjoying is this one here from Pharmacy. This is their Honeymoon Glow AHA Resurfacing Night Serum. So I couldn't use it in my Get Ready With Me today because I use it in the evening after I wash my face. I have really been loving this. The one thing I'll tell you is a lot of pharmacy products have honey in them. This does as well, but it also has propolis and royal jelly extract. And I really, really love products that have honey and honey or bee byproducts in them. I know that sounds bad. They're obviously not vegan, but they do so much for my skin. The one thing I'll tell you, I did make the mistake of using this, since it's an AHA, on the same night that I had been using my glycolic night cream. That, and then also my retinoid. It was a bad. My skin got really dry. I did it like 3 or 4 nights in a row. I think if I'd have done it once, it would have been okay. It was like, oh, my skin is fine. And the next thing I knew, I had really dry, really flaky skin. And so I really had to make sure that I dialed it back. And then it's 1 active ingredient per night. So sometimes it's my glycolic night cream. Sometimes it's this. Sometimes it's my retinol product. I don't combine them all like I did for like maybe almost a week. My skin was like, we can't handle it. So word to the wise, if you're using something with resurfacing properties in it, only do 1 of those per night and give your skin a chance to recuperate because you don't want to break down that lipid barrier. The last 3 things that I want to tell you about, this was that Bodyography pencil that I knew I wasn't going to like. This is in Bali Bronze. It's a beautiful color. It just doesn't say where I put it. It kind of goes everywhere. And this is the Eye Luster from Ciate. I really liked this, but I did find that I got some glitter fallout underneath my eye, and for that reason, I have not tried it more than a handful of times. The one thing I still want to do is try it with a glitter glue. You'd think I would have figured that out by now, but I want to see if I can make it work because I love the color that it is. I think it's such a pretty color. Has kind of that pinky purple shift with some gold to it. I really like it, and I like the really simple eye look I got using just this on my lid, but the glitter had me going, ugh, don't know. The last thing that we got was this, and this is from PYT. I have been using this every day. It comes with a concentrator attachment and this little teeny tiny diffuser. It doesn't really help, so I got a larger diffuser, and what's cool is that this actually fits on here. And so this is what I've been using to dry my hair. I actually really love this hair dryer. I love the idea that you could probably, if you use a concentrator to straighten your hair, this might work for you. I don't know, I haven't tried it. If you have curly hair or you want to maybe encourage your waves a little bit more, this is not going to do it. It's not big enough. It's so small. It feels like it should be for my daughter's American Girl dolls. But Boxy Charm for the last quarter I feel has been really good. There's only been a few duds for me. And the products that I reach for the least are that Tarte face palette, the Bodyography pencil. This has not been a favorite of mine, but most everything else has been great. Also, I love this color. The formula is not my favorite, but most other things I have really been using regularly. And it makes me see that I'm getting more than my $21 or $50 for the Boxy Luxe a month value in what I've been receiving. If you received Boxy Charm, let me know what one of your favorite products was from the last quarter, or if there are ones you're kind of like, not worth it, I think I'm gonna be done. Let me know in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you again soon.